Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'll be comparing the Nintendo Switch versus the PlayStation Vita. I think there are some interesting points to be made about both of them. So we'll start off by comparing the Nintendo Switch. It has a 6.2 inch LCD touchscreen with a resolution of 720p, a custom NVIDIA GPU, it's a K1 chip, Type-C port, headphone port, 32 gigs of storage, 802.11 AC Wi-Fi and 32 gigabytes of storage. I think, and here's the dock. We have two USB ports on the outside. There is one USB port on the inside. There is an AC adapter and just another USB for something like an Ethernet jack, which you can actually plug in. So just to show you again that this hatch does open and it closes quite simply. The design isn't actually that great, and I have seen a lot of scratched switches because of it, but it's quite simple to actually put the switch in, which I think is great. But again, it's that worry of, are you going to scratch up the switch? So it has quite a nice feel in the hand. I find that two-handed operation is great. You wouldn't want to use it one-handed, but it's not made for that. As a tablet, it feels great. It feels quite sturdy. I wish it was a metal construction, but for what we're paying for, but I think it's good. So I just want to have a bit of a discussion about the Switch. I think it's quite important that we describe some of the games that are out, like Zelda here. It's very good, but there is a lackluster launch, which is one of the problems with it. There's not enough games for it out right now, but the games that are on it are actually quite amazing. And at the moment, I think a lot of people have just said it's basically just a Zelda player, which you could get a Wii U for, quite frankly. This is my first Nintendo system really, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. The software is actually very, very good. I find that there is a way that you can view everything so seamlessly. I'm just waiting on apps like Netflix and YouTube to get on there. It's quite a nice experience. I also think it's important that we discuss how it feels when you're actually playing it. I do think that the controller that comes with it, that you slot your Joy-Cons in, is actually quite poor. I prefer to go freehand with it, but other people may disagree or agree with me, but that's just my opinion. I think that the games out at the moment are good, just wish we had more. We can tell that it is powerful enough to run these games. So this is the Switch. Now we'll be comparing the PlayStation Vita, which will be next. Now looking at the PS Vita, it's a 5-inch touchscreen with the resolution 960 by 544, A9 core CPU, which is basically an iPad 2 CPU, 512 megabytes of RAM, back touchpad, 803.11 BGN Wi-Fi, only 1 gigabyte of RAM, but it does have a camera. Has quite a nice feel in the hand. It's quite small in comparison to the Switch. Has a back touchpad which is quite comfortable to use. Has a nice front touchpad and has 2 analog sticks, and that's what is quite important, I think. One of the aspects I think we must look at is maybe get an accessory like a case for it. This is my preferred way of playing it. It doesn't add too much bulk and actually makes it feel more like a controller. Sony do not include this, which I think is actually worth buying. It makes it a lot more comfortable to hold, and that's the main problem over the Switch, is that it's not as comfortable to hold. But overall, very good design. If we compare it to a PS4 controller, that's probably what it's most like, and this is the gold standard of controllers, I think, at the moment. So just talk about some of the games. There are so many games out for the system. There's no new games coming out because it's quite an old system now, and Sony aren't supporting it as well. But if we were to look, the graphics on this system is actually quite good. It's running an iPad 2 processor, which is quite old, but just look at the quality of like Uncharted, Killzone, and you could even compare Metal Gear Solid 3. I would say on par with maybe later PS2 games, early PS3 games, especially Uncharted. I've got to say the system software feels good. It's as developed as it's ever going to be, but yeah, definitely worth getting if you're thinking about playing. Basically, for me, it's a Metal Gear machine with some bonuses like Killzone, and I think the controls work quite well with it. The only thing that's missing is clickable thumbsticks, which the Switch does have, and the Switch has a higher resolution screen, but it's stretched out over a a bigger distance, which I think is actually a problem with both of them, is that it does have a lower resolution screen. Another aspect I want to talk about is the actual design of the PS Vita. I have the newest one, so the Slim, and I find that it doesn't feel as good as the Switch. And if you do want to play it on your TV, like, you know, with the Switch dock, you have to buy the PlayStation TV, which you're not really going to shell out another £70 just to play your PS Vita games on a TV. And also the Switch can overclock itself to run at a higher resolution with like Zelda, where it starts off in 720p when on the tablet mode, and when it's docked mode it goes on to the 900p. Although there are frame rate stutters, I think it's the same thing with the PS Vita. There are frame rate stutters a lot, but I think it's just one thing you have to deal with when you are having a portable system like this. So this is all I have to really describe about the two systems. I think it's quite important that we do. I think they are different systems, but I find that portable gaming is actually an interesting concept, especially with the Switch, of how powerful it actually is. So I'm just going to leave you with some gameplay. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please leave a like if you enjoyed this, and a thumbs up or thumbs down, and I will see you guys later. Peace.